the feedback has been phenomenal. You know, we were absolutely delighted. Obviously, the way the show went, we knew we were taking no shortcuts when we were putting on this show. And when you're coming back and you wanna put boxing back on the map and make a bit of a dent in the boxing scene, you got to do it right. And I believe that we did that and even more. As I says, the feedback was just brilliant. There's a lot of people now, really getting interested in it again, and a lot of people are already asking when's the next one coming. So look, I couldn't be happier the way that it was ran, the way that it turned out on the night for everybody, and then the fights themselves, where there was some cracking fights on the night as well, which is obviously what the fans paid for, and that's what makes the night as well. So no, geez, we're absolutely delighted. I think it's very important the background that I come from. I come from the game, and I'm not. It was only this year as well that I fought. Like about 6 months ago was my last fight there as well. And I'm so involved in the game. I know the ins and outs of it so far. And I know it's always chopping and changing. Everybody's career goes through different things. But I think I have a great understanding for the fighters and what they want. And I think it's more so now me understanding the business side of it as well, as pleasing the boxers too. So we put a great platform on for the fighters. The fighters had a great night. We had as a management, we had our first title winner in James McGivern, which is it's always a nice one. It's always one that you'll remember. So absolutely delighted for James and all the lads on the card. Now it was top class. What's coming to my mind is Liam Smith and Chris Eubank Jr. Everybody thought that Chris Eubank Jr. was going to go in and do the business in the first fight, and he didn't. He got knocked out in pretty stylish fashion. And everyone was like, how is Chris Eubank going to win the next one? And he did come in and won the next one and prove the doubters wrong. So to all the doubters out there on Katie Taylor, I wouldn't be so hard on it, because we know the capability of Katie Taylor. We know the class, we know the talent that she is, and we know the mindset that she has. But to your question that you're saying, what will she do a little bit different? In my opinion, what I seen in the first fight was Katie Taylor's big homecoming fight. There was a lot of press. There was a lot of media. She was home maybe 10 days or so before the fight. And what was she actually doing in those 10 days? Do you know what I mean? Was she being run around the place? Was she being mentally drained, fatigued? That was my worry. And that's what I seen in the first couple of rounds. I seen Katie Taylor very flat at the start of that fight. There's no snapping her. There was no I think the ring walk as well was very emotional. I don't think that you need that emotion just before a big fight. I think just a good tune to get you going, get you into the ring. Like, all right, it's nice to put on a big display for the fans and this big massive entrance, and that's great for media and the fans. But at the end of the day, you have a job to do, and getting into that ring and focusing on the person that's across the ring from me and putting in the performance. That is the one that's going to give the fans what they came for, not necessarily the ring walk. So for me, I think she needs to really look at her week now leading into the fight, managing her time, managing her mental time as well. What is she mentally focusing on, and what is she giving her attention to most of the time? She needs to understand that there needs to be a lot of positive distraction now leading up to this fight, and she needs to understand that she can't be everywhere at the one time. She needs to be a wee bit selfish now. She came back, she did the big homecoming, she gave everybody her time. Now's the time that she be a little bit selfish and just works on her now. She can stay a week, 2 weeks, as long as she wants after the fight and do all that. But for me, those are the two things I think that she needs to. Walk down off that stage, get through those ropes and get the job done. Those are two things that I would like to see change, that I think personally from the last fight were a wee bit, could have played a factor of her being so fatigued early on in the fight. But the heart, determination that Katie Taylor has, she proved that. In the middle of that fight, later on that fight, she came back into the fight. She started getting into her groove. So those are a couple of things that I would just like to see Katie Taylor do leading into this fight. Is it a big task? Yes, it is, without a doubt. But those are two things that I think that she needs to change if she's looking to change the result. That's something, that Katie has to put to one side. The same as her last fight, the homecoming, she needs to just put this big massive event that everybody is creating, Conor McGregor getting involved, the government getting involved, Croke Park being involved. Put all that to the side. It's another opponent in front of you. It's another fight that you've got to get in there. You got to perform and you got to win. Just park all that other stuff to the side. Don't get emotionally attached to all that. And if this is Katie Taylor's last fight, if this is what she's thinking about and planning in her head, she's got to also put that to the one side, because that last fight's always going to be there. Like that's there. Like, but you just have to concentrate on maybe three things that is going to get you in there and get performing and get winning. And look, I think for us that aren't getting into the ring, that don't need to put on a great performance, I think we live in that environment. Oh, is this Katie Taylor's last fight? We got to go there. We got to support her. This could be the last time we ever see her fight, never alone see her fighting live. So I believe that us as fans, as supporters of Katie Taylor, we need to live up on that hype of this could be the last time we ever see Katie Taylor fight. Get out there, get supporting her. But for her, I believe that she's got to park all that stuff to the side. Just look at what's ahead. 2-3 things that she's got to concentrate on getting the performance. And I think that's what's going to be key for her.